Hello students, in the last class we discussed about the double fertilization. It is one of the very important topic. Many questions will come from that topic. In that we discussed that two types of fusions. First one is a syngamy and second one is a triple fusion. Syngamy is nothing but the fusion of one male gamete and a female gamete. Male gamete is nothing but the egg, female gamete is a sperm. The sperm or a male gamete enters the embryo sac through the pollen tube. Okay. That fusion is called as a syngamy. Then second type of a fusion is a triple fusion. Triple fusion is nothing but the fusion of one male gamete with the two polar nuclei. Two polar nuclei to form a triploid endosperm. Endosperm is a nutritive tissue which provides a nutrition to the developing embryo. Okay, those two processes are very important. Both the syngamy and triple fusion are commonly called as a double fertilization. Means in almost all the angiospermy plants we can see the double fertilization. Double means two. First one is a syngamy and a triple fusion. Then next, after those double fertilization comes under the fertilization event in a flowering plant. Next, after the fertilization we have to move to the post fertilization events. Post fertilization events, after the fertilization we can see the formation of a embryo and a in post fertilization event the zygote is formed by the syngamy in the fertilization event. That zygote develops into a embryo and a triple fusion results to form a primary endosperm nucleus that develops into a endosperm. These are the two important events which are occurs in the post fertilization. Although the ovule which is going to develop into a seed and a whole ovary develops into a fruits. Post fertilization event is a series of events. Firstly, the zygote develops into a embryo. Second one, the primary endosperm nucleus develops into a endosperm and a ovule develops into a seed and ovary develops into a fruit. Okay, in that first one we have to study, that is a formation of a endosperm. Okay, remember one thing, it is very important, endosperm is always a triploid in condition because it is by the fusion of three haploid nuclei or three haploid cells, one male gamete and two polar nuclei. That's why it is triploid in condition. Triploid we can write in a means we can endosperm is a 3N. Okay, first point for an endosperm, primary endosperm nucleus which divides repeatedly and forms a triploid endosperm tissue. Okay, firstly after the triple fusion a primary endosperm nucleus is a single cell, okay, which have the only a single nucleus which undergoes to the repeated divisions. Here division means mitotic division, not the meiotic division, mitotic division, and laterwards it forms a triploid endosperm tissue. Tissue means a group of cells, but primary endosperm nucleus have only a single nucleus. After a series of repeated divisions we can see the tissue. Okay, the endosperm tissue is filled with the reserve food material. It is very important, it is filled with the reserve food materials. Okay, those are used for a nutrition for developing embryo. We already discussed that endosperm provides a food and nutrition. It provides food for a developing embryo. Food supply ಮಾಡುತ್ತದೆ embryo develop ಆಗಬೇಕು. It is just like a growing baby. ಓಕೆ, ಆ ಬೇಬಿಗೆ ಫುಡ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಫುಡ್ಡನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಫುಡ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್. ಫುಡ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಫುಡ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ಸು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಚ್ ಇನ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಫುಡ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, it provides nutrition for or nourishment for a developing embryo. Okay, developing embryo, it is just like a mother to the embryo. Then primary endosperm nucleus undergoes to successive nuclear division. Remember one thing here, mitotic division, nuclear division, okay, to give rise to the pre-nuclei. This is very important. Pre-nuclei means the division of a nucleus without any wall formation. That type of a division we say that is a pre-nuclear division. Okay, that is a free nuclear endosperm, where we can see only the free nuclei in the endosperm. That endosperm is called as a free nuclear endosperm, or we can say just a nuclear endosperm. That type of a endosperm we can see in case of coconut. Okay, coconut milk, that coconut milk which is present in a coconut, that is an example for a free nuclear endosperm or nuclear endosperms. Okay, then in some plants we can see the after nuclear division we can see the wall formation also. Okay, the wall formation for a free nuclear endosperm, that endosperm becomes a cellular endosperm. Firstly, in some plants we can see only the free nuclear endosperm. Then in some plants after the nuclear division we can also see the formation of a wall. That type of a endosperm is called as a cellular endosperm. Then endosperm may either be completely consumed by the developing embryo. We already discussed in the first point, endosperm provides a reserve food material, or it gives a nourishment or nutrition, or it supplies food for a developing embryo. Okay, during the development of embryo, endosperm may either be completely consumed by the developing embryo. Okay, ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮು ಡೆವಲಪಿಂಗ್ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು, ಅಂದರೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟಾಗಿ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ನ ತಿಂದು ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಸಮ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಮೇ ರಿಮೇನ್ ಪರ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಚೂರ್ ಸೀಡ್ಸ್. ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟಾಗಿ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಗದೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಪರ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ರಿಮೇನ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಮೆಚುರೇಷನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಪರ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಜೊತೆಗಿರುತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಓಕೆ, ಹಿಯರ್ the endosperm may either be completely consumed or remain persistent, we can see in case of the means after the development or after the maturity also. Okay, here we discuss about the two types of endosperms. Okay, mainly we can see the three types of endosperm. It is an extra note for you guys. First type is a nuclear endosperm. Here you can see the free nuclei, which I am marking now with a red color pen. Those are the free nuclei which is present in the single cell. This type of endosperm is called as a nuclear endosperm. We can write the example like a coconut. It under coconut is the example for free nuclear endosperm. Second one, cellular endosperm. We can see the division of nucleus and a successive wall formation. Nucleus divide ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ವಾಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಡ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್. ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲು ದತ್ತುರ. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಹೆಲೋಪಿಯಲ್ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್. ಹೆಲೋಪಿಯಲ್ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ intermediate endosperm between the nuclear and a cellular. You can see here the nuclei are free at the upper side and some nuclei have the wall around it, means it is a intermediate endosperm between the nuclear and a cellular endosperm. You can see the cellular part of the halobial endosperm at bottom side and a free nuclear endosperm like region at the upper side. Halobial ಒಳಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ portion ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ free nuclei ಹಂಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. There is no wall formation. The nuclei are free in a common cytoplasm. Okay, some of the nuclei are having the its own cell membrane or wall formation. Okay, this type of endosperm is called as a halobial endosperm. This halobial endosperm is most common in case of the monocotyledons. These are the types of endosperms: nuclear, cellular and a halobial. Nuclear, we can see the free nuclei in the common cytoplasm. Cellular, each nuclei have its cell wall. Then halobial, we can see both the types of means it is a intermediate type of endosperm in between nuclear and cellular. Cellular part is present at the bottom side, pre-nuclear part present at the upper side. Example, monocots. Post fertilization events are the series of events. Okay, two things we discussed: the zygote develops to form an embryo and a primary endosperm nucleus develops to form a endosperm. Okay, after that the ovule which is going to develop into a seed, and ovary, the complete ovary which is going to be developed into a fruit. Okay, here a small thing we discussed here: the endosperm is completely consumed by the developing embryo. Okay, after the development of seeds and a fruit, that type of a seed is called as a, or a fruit is called as a non-albuminous or a non-endospermic seeds or a fruit. Means the endosperm we can't see in the maturity or after the post fertilization, after the formation of seed and a fruit, we can't see any endosperm in that. Okay, those type of fruits are called as a non-albuminous or a non-endospermic seeds. Okay, then in some plants we can see the endosperm remain attached with the fruit or seeds, attached with the seeds. That type of a seed is called as a endospermic seeds or albuminous seeds. It is very important. It is one of the MCQ question, multiple choice question. It will come to your NEET or any competitives. Means it is a basic question. Endospermic seed means the endosperm remain persistent even after the maturity. We can see that part of the endosperm in a seeds also. Non-albuminous or non-endospermic seeds means, non means there is no endosperm, there is no part of the endosperm in a maturity. Okay, almost all the endosperm is consumed by the developing embryo only. Here the endosperm is not completely consumed by the embryo. Here embryo consumes all the endosperms. Some example for a non-albuminous seeds: pea, groundnut and beans. In these plants or in these seeds we can't see any endosperms, means the complete endosperm is consumed by the embryo itself. Okay, then example for albuminous or endospermic seeds: castor, coconut, wheat and maize. We can see the endospermic part in those seeds. Okay, that's why it is called as a endospermic seeds. The two important things you have to remember for about the endosperm: endosperm is triploid, means 3n in condition. Okay, you know the reason why we wrote the 3n. Then endosperm provides a nutrition, food or a nutrition for embryo. Then third thing, if remain persistent, it is called as a albuminous seeds or endospermic seeds. If the endosperm is completely consumed, means non-albuminous or a non-endospermic. Okay, and types, 3 types: nuclear, cellular, and a halobial. These are the types of endosperm. Endosperm is formed by the PEN, that is a primary endosperm nucleus, by the triple fusion. Okay, that's why we say it is a triploid in condition, by the fusion of one male gamete and a 2 polar nuclei. These are the very important points about the endosperm. Okay, remember all these things. Okay, just after the endosperm, we have to move to the next topic, that is the embryo. Okay, means embryo is formed by the zygote. Zygote is nothing but it is a product of syngamy, that is a fusion of a male and a female gamete. That zygote undergoes to the development to form a embryo by the process called embryogeny or embryogenesis. Okay, that is the definition for embryogenesis. Here, the development of embryo from a zygote is called as a embryogenesis. Remember one thing, we can see the mitotic division. We can't see any meiotic divisions. Okay. Okay. The development or the process of development of embryo from a zygote is called as a embryogenesis. Next point, the zygote gives rise to the, primarily it gives rise to the pro-embryo. Okay, suddenly the embryo is not formed from the zygote. There are so many intermediate structures are developed by the zygote. Firstly, we can see the pro-embryo. Later, after the pro-embryo, we can see the globular structure of embryo, then heart-shaped structure of embryo, then a torpedo shape of embryo. Lastly, we can see the mature embryo. Okay, these are the intermediate shapes of an embryo during the embryogenesis. For all these structures, embryo have to take the nutrition from the endosperm. Okay, endosperm provides all the nutrients which are needed for the developing embryo. Okay, you can see here zygote is quite simple structure, means it is just by the fusion of one male and a female gamete. Okay, we can see only a single nucleus which is in the diploid condition. Okay, it has 2 parts, upper part is the apex and the lower part is a basal part. Okay, that part means that zygote undergoes to the mitotic division to means divide equally to form a 2 cells. Then that structure undergoes again repeated mitotic division, which looks like this. It is a globular in structure. We can see globular in structure. Later, that globular structure again undergoes to the many mitotic division to form a heart-shaped structure. Okay, heart-shaped embryo. Okay, later that heart-shaped embryo again undergoes to certain developmental or certain mitotic divisions to form a torpedo shape, means the heart shape of an embryo completely turns downwards to form a torpedo shaped embryo. Okay, after the torpedo shaped embryo, the matured embryo forms. Okay, based on the number of cotyledons, we divided the angiosperm into 2 categories, monocots and dicots. Dicots means the plants which are only the plants which are having the 2 cotyledons. Monocots means the plants which are having the only a single cotyledon. You can see the diagram in your NCERT book, that is a figure number 2.13. Here you can see the zygote undergoes through the development. It is to form a 2 cells, then later that a 2-celled zygote again undergoes to many divisions. Firstly, after the 2 cells we can see the 4-cell zygote. After the 4-cell stage, 8-cell zygote, that is an octant embryo, means 8 cells are present in that zygote. Okay. After that 8-cell stage, it undergoes a certain mitotic division. We can see the globular structure. You can see the global like embryo. Then after the globular structure, we can see the heart shape. You can see here heart shape embryo. Why the diagram is like this? Because the embryo is formed at the micropylar region of an embryo sac. Okay, that's why the structures looks like a inverted or ulta for you guys. Okay, that's why for your easy convenience you can draw in inverse manner also, reverse also. Here you can see the heart shaped structure. In my diagram it is quite reverse. Okay, you can see the heart shaped structure at the micropylar region of an embryo sac or inside the ovule. Okay, that embryo sac, that embryo or heart shaped embryo again undergoes to certain developmental stages. It forms a torpedo shape or a mature torpedo shaped embryo. Then little changes occurs in a torpedo shaped embryo to form a complete mature embryo. Okay, you can see here a small elongated structure which is attached with the developing embryo. It is called as a suspensor. You can see the label here. Suspensor means which sucks the nutritions or which sucks the food by the endosperms. Okay, okay, it will clearly understand here the zygote is formed at the micropylar region. Okay, the endosperm is formed at the chalazal region. Okay, means the endosperm is quite above from the zygote. That's why which sucks the nutrition by the endosperm by the suspensor. Okay, the diagram is like a means how we studied the embryo sac. It is like that. The zygote is formed at the lower side of embryo sac, that is a micropylar region. The endosperm is formed at upper portion or a chalazal region. Okay, and that's why for sucking the nutritions or for a supply of the food from the endosperm, it is by the suspensor. Suspensor provides the nutrition to the developing embryo. Okay, based on the cotyledons, we can have the 2 types of angiosperms, dicots and monocots. The mature embryo is having the lower portion, means has in structure of embryo sac, upper portion is the radicle which is going to develop into a root. Okay, the lower portion develops into flumule, laterwards it gives rise to the shoot. Okay, 2 cotyledons are present, means a mature embryo have the 2 parts, cotyledons and a embryogonal axis. Embryogonal axis means where the embryo is present. Cotyledons means if it is a dicot, 2 cotyledons are present. If it is a monocot, single cotyledon is present. The radicle develops into a root, a flumule develops into a shoot. Let us study about the embryo of a dicots. Okay, here you can see the diagram. The diagram you can see in your NCERT book also. It is very simple. Here dicots means it have the 2 cotyledons. Here we may mention that 1 cotyledon and a second cotyledon. Okay, the upper portion of a cotyledon is called as a epicotyledon. A lower portion of a cotyledon is called as a hypocotyledon. Okay, is it clear? Dicots are having the two cotyledons, means a mature embryo of a dicot is having the embryogonal axis and a two cotyledon. Okay, the embryogonal axis which upwards means at the epicotyledon you can see the flumule and a lower portion of the embryogonal axis, that is the radicle. The upper portion of the cotyledon is called as epicotyledon, a lower portion of the cotyledon is called as a hypocotyledon. The upper portion of a epicotyledon which having the flumule or a shoot tips, later words it provides a shoot. Okay, the lower portion of an hypocotyledon which having the radicle is nothing but the root, later words the radicle give rise to the root. Okay, that root are having the root cap or root covering, it is also called as a coleryza. Okay, like that a shoot tip or a flumule also have the covering, it is called as a coleptile. Okay, this is all about the structure of a cotyledon. Okay, here you can see two cotyledons. I will draw again. Two cotyledons are present in a dicot. It is very simple diagram. Okay, the lower portion of the cotyledon is called as a hypocotyledon. Upper portion of a cotyledon is called as a epicotyledon. For your easy convenience, again I am drawing. Then epicotyledon having the structure, that is the flumule, which later words develops into a shoot, or it is also called as a shoot tip, which is covered by the layer called as a coleptile. Okay, then lower region of the cotyledon is a hypocotyledon, which is attached with the, means which have the region called as a radicle. Later was it develops into a root. That radicle is covered with a root cap, or it is also called as a coleryza. It is very important. Okay, coleptile and a coleryza. You can write the notes here. I made the 5 points. The structure of the dicots are very simple compared to the monocots. Okay. After the structure of dicot, next is the embryo of a monocot. Okay. Monocot means the embryo which have only a single cotyledon. This is the structure of a monocots. A single cotyledon which is present in case of monocots, it is called as a scutellum. It is very important, remember this word. Scutellum means a single cotyledon which is present in a monocots. Okay, same as in case of a dicots. You can see the structure here. Coleptile means here also you can see the mature embryo of a monocot have a single cotyledon and an embryogonal axis. Okay, here the cotyledon upper portion is called as a epicotyledon, a lower portion is called as a hypocotyledon. Okay, the portion which is attached with the embryogonal axis which having the flumule or a shoot apex, the flumule or a shoot apex which is covered with the layer that is called as a coleptile. Then the lower portion which is going to develop into a root, that portion is called as a radicle, or means it develops into a root which is covered with a root cap or a coleryza. Okay, the coleptile is a undifferentiated, a thin layer. It is very important. This type of distinguished layer you can see mostly in case of monocots. Okay, at the epicotyledon or at the region of epicotyledon where the embryogonal axis is attached, here epicotyledon, here is the hypocotyledon, here we can see the primordia of leaves, so that is a epiblast. Epiblast is a floral primordia or means developing leaves, or we can see at the epicotyledon region of embryogonal axis. Leaf primordia which are present at the epicotyle region of embryogonal axis. Laterwards they develops into a leaf structures. Here you can see the notes. Embryo of monocots are having only a single cotyledon or a one cotyledon, that is a scutellum. Okay, the scutellum word mainly we can use for a grass family. Grass family is also called as a Poaceae family. Okay, the scutellum present at one side of an embryogonal axis. Okay, then embryogonal axis lower portion is a radicle and a root cap enclosed and a undifferentiated sheath is called as a coleorhiza. Then the upper portion of an embryogonal axis develops into a female, laterwards it develops into a shoot. It is covered by the coleptile. Coleorhiza and coleptile are very important. Coleorhiza, remember this R. Coleorhiza means it is a covering layer for a root. Okay, coleptile means shoot. Then epicotyle which is attached with the embryogonal axis which have the leaf primordia, laterwards they develops into a leaf like structures. Okay, tomorrow means in the next video we can discuss about the seed development and the fruit development. Thank you.